I have the almighty Derek from at Brickley Bugle on Instagram. This has been a long time coming, bro. We've talked about this for a while. Let them know who you are, what you do, and what the Brickley Bugle stands for.
The Brickley Bugle to me is inspiration to really show that it is possible to reach your dreams. And as a kid, starting my Legos, like my Lego collection at 6 or 7 years old, and wanting to become like an influencer, to build like stop motion and take photos of what I'm interested in, and to be at 22 now doing it and actually achieving like a big milestone in under a year, dude. Little me would be ecstatic right now. He would be so hyped up, and I'm just really happy. Here seeing all the DMs and messages too of people telling me they've been inspired by my content to start their own content and to actually make a name for themselves as well. It's super cool to see, dude. It's a blessing, and it's just amazing, man. I mean, lost for words. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I feel like, man, since we've been following each other, I feel like, it's been, probably like half a year now, I'd say. And
Mhm.
it's interesting just to see how everyone pops up. Like, I feel like when I first followed you, I think you were probably at like 2K, maybe 2.5K, and
Mhm.
then now you've hit 5K, and you hitting 5K obviously shows your face to the world, and here you are today on Clan Brandolorian. That's the whole point where I was like, man, I got to get you on the podcast. And obviously, when we went live on Instagram, you had the ski mask on,
Oh my
so I mean,
god.
we had to keep you low key for that time being. But I mean, hey, man,
Mhm.
you reached a huge milestone on your channel. Another congratulations to you, man, because
Thank you, man.
that's what we're all here doing, man, is making content, wanting to get with other fans, and you build like cool relationships with other people that, I feel like around me, there's nerds 100%, but I mean, for people to be into, Lego Star Wars, and then that branches off into Lego, other sets and stuff. I feel like there's not that much around me, but you get on the internet, you get online, and you find a lot of people all over the country and all over the world even.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, like, and now we're all together, and we, talk Lego, talk nerdy stuff, and it's just a good time all together.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
What's is there any bigger goals that you'd like to achieve for your channel?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for starters, we gotta hit 10K on Instagram. Like that's a must, man. I mean, we hit 5K. I plan on hitting 10K by the end of next year. And if we do it beforehand, that's great. Thank God,
Oh
that's
yeah.
awesome. But I'd say the biggest goal I have right now is hitting 100K on YouTube. I know it's a stretch, dude. It's a
Man.
stretch. That's like again, little me, man. He
Mhm.
he would he'd be flipping he'd be flipping his he'd be pretty excited, man. And I mean even now I frame that in my kitchen.
Oh, you'd have
People,
to.
oh, absolutely. And I'd say besides like milestones, I'd say I want to increase my quality of content. I want to purchase a camera, preferably a Canon of any sorts. Has to be 4K. Has to be 4K HD everything. And I want to build a studio, and like because I literally just use like an Amazon Lightbox to shoot everything and my phone.
Right.
So I
Isn't
just
it?
want to improve the quality.
Yeah, quality is key, man. I mean, that's a saying for a reason, and especially when you make content, the algorithm sometimes won't even push your stuff if
Mhm.
if it's even 720p. I mean, I remember getting flat screen TVs like in middle school, high school that were 720p, and it's like, oh my god, dude, this is like crystal clear. Like watching
Yes,
Avatar,
dude.
as a young kid on 720p is just mind blowing. It's like you're at the theater again, but it's with technology comes more time for everything to get even better, and I mean you get left in the dark quick. But I mean, like I said, quality is key, and I mean, getting up to 4K, everything's in 4K now, and
Mhm.
before too long we're going to look at 8K, 12K. I mean, yeah, so I think that's really cool, man. And it also too, like, I mean, with an Amazon Lightbox, I mean, look where you're starting, and then like look at what you're looking forward to next.
Mhm.
But real quick, guys, if you haven't already, go follow Derek at the Brickley Bugle. Of course, let's get him to 10K, and go follow him on YouTube as well. Hit the subscribe button, and of course, here, go ahead and click subscribe if you haven't already. We got Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Clan Brandolorian. So go check that out. Go follow all of those. But let's go ahead and get into our show and tell segment. This on Clan Brandolorian is one of my favorite things is when we get guests on here or if we're doing a solo, I love to show off some of the items that we have in our collection. As you can see behind me, I got a thing that Mr. JT Lovecraft, shout out to him, calls the sickness. It's a bunch of plastic behind me that I've spent lots of money on,
The
got gifted a lot of
sickness.
these things. And I mean, why not? Why not show it off? But Derek, if you want
Facts.
to go ahead and start, man, what you got today? What do you got to the
Oh,
play?
absolutely. I mean, for everyone watching, as you can see, I am not at my home base. I am at my grandparents', but I did bring two things. Two things. For starters, I want to bring something Lego because it is related to what I do. But we have a Death Trooper, which was gifted to me by my buddy Commander Broski. Gotta shout him
Hey,
out.
shout out
So
Broski.
super cool fig. I was very blessed to receive that. Now, Brandon, are you ready for this?
I don't know, man. You told me
Brandon.
behind the scenes, this is
All
it's
right.
gonna be something crazy. Bro, is that OG?
It's the OG.
Oh, bro.
Here, hold on, let me turn that audio up. You hear that?
Dude,
It's
the
OG.
cantina, bro.
Mm-hmm. I had to bust out the complete saga on the DS, dude. I had to bust it out. I've been
Oh,
playing the hell out of it. Sorry if I can't swear on this, but I've been playing the
nah,
hell out of
man.
it, dude. Dude,
Man,
it's been a blast.
it is. That was, when I got started on the Lego games, it was actually Lego Batman because it came with my Xbox 360 arcade. It was
Mm-hmm.
free. It came with it, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, cool. But I
Bro,
remember
I
one
love Lego
Christmas.
Batman.
Oh, it was so good too. And some of the missions on there were really, really hard. I'm sitting here like at 10 years old, like I'm about to quit. I'm about to move on to Guitar Hero because this is
No,
taking
that's
too long. Like
fair.
I can't. But I remember getting the complete saga for Christmas and playing that thing. And I mean, just even right there, that just takes you back.
Dude,
And especially
absolutely.
on TikTok lately, I've been seeing the plug walks again for the in the little loading screen. So it's so
Oh,
good. It takes you back, man. That's so dope that you got that back out.
dude, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I've been playing Jedi Survivor right now. But every
Ooh.
time I get on to into my game library, I look at the Skywalker saga of Lego and I'm just like, man, they did such a good job with this game. But the complete saga, man, it's the nostalgia
It's so
value
good.
and it's
It's
its first
so
one. It's just
so good, dude. It's so good.
man.
Nothing beats the originals. So that's all I'll say. Nothing beats the originals.
Yeah, I mean it starts, wherever you were at a time, especially if it's a good time, man, video games they help you escape, man. And that's one of them.
Facts. That is facts, man. Brian, what you got, man?
Well, today I had one thing in mind. It's right here in front of me, but I got another one right here. So since you showed two, I'm going to show
Oh,
two.
please,
Um,
please.
we'll start off right here with the Miss Lola from the Kenobi series.
Okay, okay.
You know
Very
what?
cool.
She's so cool, and I think she's a droid. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it's
know,
fine.
Princess Leia's little droid Lola. I know it's like LO-LA 29 maybe is the class code, but anyways, really really cool. Um, my friend Robert gifted this to me, and I mean, dude, like, come on,
Oh, that's
man,
sick. Yeah, that's
it's so sick. You can angle the ears, the legs, all that. I kind of wish it didn't have the legs. I was trying to take them off, but I think it would break it, so I'm not gonna even mess with that.
oh
So
yeah. Oh,
she just sits on my Xbox, but man, come on,
that's badass.
absolutely love
That's
it.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
But
That is
yeah, I
so
mean,
cool.
dope. I love the Kenobi series too. I don't know what you thought about it, but
I
it
thought it was
it called to
fire.
me.
I liked
Yeah,
it. I liked
it
it.
was really good. But going into the second one,
Oh.
man, I got to toss up. We're just gonna grab this one because with the Django Fett, the UCS Django
Oh
Slave
shoot.
One coming, it's got to sit next to this, and it's gonna sit next to this for a reason.
Oh damn,
But
dude. Here it is.
this is something that everyone should have, and it's the General
Yes.
Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter.
That
And
is a
this right, it's
so
it,
good.
It's perfect, and for the price point, I think it was 29.99 or 24.99, and you get
Mhm.
3 figs, the first Kaminoan minifig. Here we are, man. Imagine this
So
in
good.
May sitting right next to the UCS Django's Slave One.
Absolutely. So it
Like,
reminds me
bro,
to be.
man, like it has to. And plus, like the minifig too, like the episode 2 Kenobi, bro, sign me up. Sign me up. He's
That
too
figure's perfect. And the hood, it comes with the hood too, dude. It's so good. So you can
yes,
do both.
yes. I know
So
I got the hood sitting in my Lego box of all my spare pieces.
very cool.
Ac-
Very, very cool.
Thank you, bro. Uh
I love
Actually,
that set.
since you're playing the complete saga, you're probably going to see these a couple times.
Ah, the mini kids. Yes, is that from the advent calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Mine's on my mock right now. I love that piece, and I've just been utilizing it as much as I can.
Oh yeah, dude. It's so simple, but at the same time, before even the advent calendar, I had been thinking about getting on online and seeing what pieces it takes to build that and seeing if I could
Right.
just order them. Um but for the Lego game, I will say, is there what I know I've seen your collection before, but like what is like the superior set to you? Like that has been out. Cuz for like me, I've been collecting since 2021. I'm new to the Lego Star Wars game. But at the same time, I feel like I have quite a bit for only being into it for 3.5, almost 4 years now.
Absolutely.
Um, and I feel like I'm kind of getting my own flavor for Lego Star Wars, like certain sets, like the Spider Tank. I got that probably 2 months after it released because I'm like, dude, this is dope, but it got a lot of
Mhm.
backlash online. But
Yeah.
what's superior to you? What kind of sets do you like? Just stuff like that.
Okay. Well, for starters, the spider tank was pretty good. The Bo-Katan was perfect. Bo-Katan was
Money.
perfect. That's the only reason I got it before it retired. So good. Second, um, obviously, I gotta favor Star Wars out of all the themes. Marvel, like close second, and third would be Lord of the Rings. Though I don't have any of the
Mm.
sets, it's something I want to get into at some point. And I did recently just put out a Sauron photo and have a bunch of photos I took at my buddy's place in the vault. But I would say, oh my gosh, superior set. Oh man, dude, either that. I don't even own these, but either the UCS Razor Crest or the AT-AT. Now, I think what would be killer is a UCS ATTE. I don't know how they'd pull it off, but dude, think about how sick that would be. Just a giant, just a huge, like the size of the AT or oh my gosh, the AT-AT. Oh my gosh, it'd be so good if they did make that. That'd be so sick. But I don't know. In my collection, it'd probably be the Sith Fury class interceptor.
Oh, bro. When we were on the live and you showed me that, I was like, bro, dude, I think there's actually people in the chat that were roasting me because I was like, wait, what is that? I was like, I've never seen that. That
That's
thing is
it's a
absolute
grail.
fire,
It's a
bro.
grail. The story is whenever I started getting back into like collecting and stuff, which was probably in like 2021, right after I graduated high school, I started getting into Funko Pops, but I started buying some Lego sets as well. And in 2022, mid 2022, um, I saw Stud Stash post like a you may have these like rare minifigures in your collection, and he showed Darth Malgus, and I was like, oh.
I know, I
Uh,
got that.
I didn't well, I sold all my minifigures, so I was like, "I don't have that," but I just like, I have a ship. So I went to my attic, I found the ship, I started rebuilding it. I opened the cockpit, lo and behold, there he is, sitting there since, like, 2014, 2012. Just
Mm,
perfectly mint, dude. I was so excited. I was so just gassed up. Threw him in a case, rebuilt the set, and put it on my shelf. I'm like, "That's hard, man."
that's crazy. You
That's
know,
hard.
bro, when you're a kid, some things are like so cool at the time, but then like you think, like, I mean, yours was in an attic. Like, like
Mhm.
that thing never even breathed like COVID air. It's just
No,
up there chilling.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
it's back and it's new to the world, and now it's like a staple to the collection. Like it's
Absolutely,
always
dude.
funny how that works. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, for me, you know me, I've posted about it 50 million times since I got it. The UCS Jabba sail barge.
It's a
God
good
damn,
one.
dude.
It's
That
a good
is
one.
it's it's the best thing to me. With we'll talk about movies later, but like for me, Return of the Jedi is literally the second best Star Wars film movie of anything. It's amazing. It calls to me, being younger, everything about Jabba's palace, and I've said this multiple times on my channel, but I always have to, express that feeling because it's such a good movie to me. The first 30-45 minutes, impeccable. So, I mean, for them to create this set, and I feel like it was kind of ballsy of Lego to drop a UCS set for the sail barge, especially a year after the Return of the Jedi anniversary.
Hmm.
I think that was really good for them to go ahead and drop that, especially in that fall slot. But man, and especially the $80 desert skiff and Sarlacc pit on the side. I mean, you get the
It
whole
was
scene for
perfect. Yeah.
$580. So
Did you get the other? Did you get the skiff?
yeah, I got that.
I feel like you had to at that point.
My what was funny is I was actually on a live stream with young Pogba. Shout out to him. He's a Lego guy as well, but
Hmm.
we were talking about it on a live stream, and my grandma was actually chimed in on the chat, and she texted me like an hour after the stream was over, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm outside," and I was just like, "Okay." So then I like go outside, and she hands me a Target bag, and then the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit. I'm like, "What the hell, grandma?" Like,
That's cool though.
I don't need you spending $80 on me like that. But I mean, so
Uh,
what,
W grandma.
man, W, man, she's amazing. But that, I mean, already like that set means so much to me. So I mean, I have to get the sail barge, So I'm glad it's here.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, man, it's something. It's beautiful. I look at it every single day since it's
Oh,
been done.
it's big, man. My old roommates have it, and it's huge. Like it's big. Is it in your background? Where do you have yours?
I got it right here.
Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hmm.
It's happening.
And for instance,
Holy crap.
I'm a 6'2" male, 250 pounds. I'm chilling right here. This,
That is
yeah,
beautiful. That looks
it's
way
amazing.
better in person though. Like actually, I feel like I don't know. For me, the box art didn't do it justice, but it looks so good in person. And right here, when you have it built right in front of me, it's,
Yeah,
it's A1, dude. That looks really good.
yeah. Thank you, bro. It's
Hmm.
the best thing ever.
Yeah, when I first saw the leaked images, I was kind of like, man, that looks like a poop ship. Can't lie. And then I went to the Lego store to grab some sets on that release day, and I saw that ship, and I was like, wait, that looks really good. That looks
Nah,
really good in person.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of it too. Because I was like, man, it's gonna be so like, you know, clunky and kind of just like, yeah, a big poop ship. It's kind of how it looks. But I mean, once it's all put together, it's sometimes when you get these sets done, you're like, how the hell did they pull this off?
Yeah, like seriously, who did this?
Yeah, you're like halfway through building and you're like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. How is this going to turn into Commander Cody's helmet? Like, what?
Yes, dude.
But they do that. Do you have any brickheads?
Yes. I think my first one was the Mandalorian Grogu. I have the Tusken Raider, Ahsoka, and then sealed. I have the Bright Bomber.
Oh, no shit. Nice, nice.
I had to get that one secondhand. I don't know if it's gonna do anything in the resale market here in the future, but if it doesn't, I can just build it. I mean, it's something cool to have.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, that's kind of some of those like personal grails. Like, I have a Chase Cobb Vanth Funko Pop. I
Oh,
mean, it.
oh, is that the one where he has like the helmet off?
Yes, he has the helmet off. He's holding the
I was
pistol
hunting for
down.
that sucker. Yeah, I was hunting for that sucker. Never found him in person. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's
That's a cool one.
Yeah, so that one's like my favorite Funko Pop, but at the same time, it's just like, that's one of those personal grails. Like you can get on Amazon, find it for $25. But I
Hmm.
mean, hey, nothing can beat what you like. So
Exactly. I 100% agree. Off topic, I just saw something pretty crazy. Going back to what we were talking about with the Obi-Wan
mm,
Starship and the UCS Django Slave One, they're dropping a play scale $80 Django Fett Slave One with the Kaminoan, Young Boba, and Django.
yes.
That's crazy.
So I've my homie Bailey is always like, dude, if they make the fire spray gunship, the Boba Fett one, the slave one that they dropped a couple years ago,
Mhm.
if they drop a Django of that, like imagine those side by side in your collection. It's amazing. But now, can you imagine having the play scale, the
And
UCS,
the
and they're dropping a Lego Django Fett helmet as well? So I mean, it's just the year of Django, and
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
and
Oof.
rumored the gift with purchase for the UCS Django Slave One is his little apartment on Camino.
What's it selling me, dude? I wasn't gonna get it when I heard the play scale, but when I saw that it was the gift with purchase, oh my gosh, dude. I was like, damn, now I gotta get it. I was
It's
like, I
like,
gotta
yeah,
get it. I
it's the
have
year
to.
of Django.
That line's gonna be so effing long at a Lego store.
Oh yeah, the closest Lego store to me is in Kansas City, so that's about 2.5 hours away. Like, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting it in person. I'm just gonna have to order it.
That's probably what I'll have to do, actually. That's pretty smart. I didn't even think of that. I'm just a big like wait in line kind of guy. Like,
I
I like
love
to.
it.
It's so fun. That's how I was with shoes, man.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep, I remember back in the day in high school, I mean, you'd win the raffle for Saturdays and you'd go wait, like 7 in the morning just
Yep.
to spend like 160 at least on some Jordans. And I mean, then there you
Hmm.
go. You're out for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Pretty much, dude. Those are the days.
yeah. Well, I mean, would you say you're more of an animated Star Wars fan or are you live action?
That's a great question. Um, I would definitely say live action. I think the animated movies and shows definitely are great, and they also provide like, oh my gosh, how can I word this? Not inspiration, but like a way for your favorite animated characters to get on the big screen and live action. A great example of this would be Cad Bane in Book of
Mm,
Boba Fett. Now, that show is not my favorite. I can't lie. That was one crazy guest I did not expect to see in that show. Same with Captain Rex and Ahsoka. Like
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
that blew my mind. Like it's crazy to see that this cartoon I used to watch at like 8 or 9 years old is still relevant today, and people still like look up to these characters too. And seeing them live action just gives you such a nostalgic feeling. And I feel like for me, it would be live action because seeing these characters I did grow up with being on the big screen, as like themselves, like I don't know, man. It's just there's something special about it, and I've always loved the prequels, and I think Attack of the Clones is just something I look back on all the time, and that movie is just
Yeah.
I
It's
love it.
always it's always nice hearing people talk about Attack of the Clones and giving it its love. I mean, we can talk about Anakin not liking sand, his Riz not being up to par, but I mean, at the same time, he ends up getting Padme in the end. It doesn't matter.
Right,
All the Anakin Attack of the Clones hate can go out the window for me. But I mean, it's always good to hear that movie get its flowers because I mean, I'm a prequel guy as well. That's what I grew up with.
mhm.
That's so many different things, especially talking animated versus live action. It's different. We have the technology now for animated series to be really good. And for me, of course, live action as well. But what I do appreciate about animated is I feel like it gives a little bit more to the live action storytelling. Is it gives you
Mm.
those little itsy bitsy facts and callbacks and all that stuff that makes it even better. For instance, season 7 of Clone Wars, it's always talked about, but the last 3 episodes, those might be better than some movies live action
I
that have come
I'd
out.
have to agree. I'd have to agree. Those are peak. I remember I remember those are
And yeah, it's another chef's kiss. I think those released like right before like COVID started, like
yes,
literally
dude.
right before.
It was perfect. It was
Yeah, and
perfect
it's just
timing.
like, man, because for me, I feel like growing up with the prequels and of course 4 through 6, um my dad was just always like, like when I was younger it started with 4, 5, 6, and we're like, where's one, two, three. Of course, I mean the first one being just titled Star Wars, and then A New Hope,
Mhm.
found its way with the title, and then Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Is it you back then? I could only imagine like where's this going to end up, and
Mm.
then it takes
Oh, seriously.
it takes over, from 83 to 99. I mean, you get that 15-year span of like, okay, well, where's the next one? Where's the next adaptation of the Star Wars? And then here comes a Phantom Menace. We see a guy with horns pull out a double-bladed lightsaber when we've only seen one. We see a young Darth Vader, and everyone knows who Anakin Skywalker is in this movie. And
Mhm.
leading into seeing what Anakin ultimately turns into in Attack of the Clones and then Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it's what a great time to like grow up on these films. But the Clone Wars for me, I didn't get into it right away. It actually started in 2019 with when season 7 came out. I had been reading online, like this ties the dots. It makes Order 66 even more heartfelt. Darth Maul was like literally right behind the scenes of everything that happened, and Ahsoka, and I used to hate Ahsoka, bro. Like,
Mhm.
don't even bring that character up to me because Anakin Skywalker was not, granted the rank of master for a reason. He never had a Padawan. And then when I go back and watch, I'm like, who's this Ahsoka chick? And that's why I didn't watch the Clone Wars at first. I was like, man, I'm not doing this. That's stupid. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna be the first one to say, I hate people who are like that. That's kind of what like took me out of the fandom because I remember people making fun of me because I like the prequels, during the prequel era. But if you look at it, it all comes full circle because people hate on the sequels, which just came out in recent years. I think
Mhm.
everything gets its time. Not everything. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to like everything because if we did, the world would suck. Like, let's be real.
Agree. Yeah,
Um,
exactly, man.
but yeah, man. I mean, after that rant, give me live action, man, all day.
Mm.
But I
Absolutely.
do, I do love the added weight from animated, and plus, I feel like it's a cheaper way to get more Star Wars stories.
Facts. You like Rebels?
Rebels is probably my least favorite. Only because I mean I love a lot of things in it, and I
Mhm.
don't think it's anything that has to do with the character building or like really more sort of the storytelling. That's all good. I've watched it twice through, um, but the only thing I mean it's also like Star Wars. It's for kids.
Mhm.
The
Right.
animated, it's targeted for kids. The thing for me is I just feel like each episode or each arc, it's just like, oh, they're in trouble. And then by the end of it, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're gonna fly away in the ghost, and here they're gonna go get into a new problem, and now they're in trouble, and then they're fine. But it's just like
That's real though. Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird nitpick of mine, but I mean, I feel like everyone has that one Star Wars nitpick, and it's probably Rebels, but it's not that deep for me. It's just like it's a good show. I know I understand how it's a good show. But it's just I mean, Eminem is probably one of the best rappers ever, but you won't find a song by him in my playlist. But cool. I mean, I see the talent, in
Right.
Rebels, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and just hate on it because I mean, it's good. It's good. It's just not my favorite.
No, absolutely. I mean, everyone's inclined to their opinions, and that's what makes the fandom also like so fun. Is like everyone has their favorites, and it's just I don't know. It just it gives more variety to
Yeah,
everything. It's awesome.
yeah, absolutely. What about Rebels for you? Where's that stand for you?
Um, a little. I don't know. I'd say it's higher than Bad Batch for me. That's a hot take. I um I
I'm
watched
cool.
Rebels during COVID, and I watched it 2 times through as well. I was put on by my old roommates, and I loved it. I think for the most part, I see what you're saying though about it. Hey, we have this mission. Hey, let's get in the ghost. Let's get the heck out of here. Like, no, I see it for sure. Looking at him, like, yeah, kind of. But I liked the characters. Thrawn was really badass, and he was very menacing for that whole
Man,
entire series. Sabine was, she's all right. I like her. She's all right. But Kanan, Ezra, those were great characters. Chopper. Um, Shoot, who's the dude with the mutton chops? Looks like Jay Shalat. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
oh, Callus.
Yeah, Callus. He was a pretty cool character too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The reason Bad Batch weighs so low for me is I love the first season. It started to tank though towards the end. I'd say the
Mm.
last season was not that bad though. I can't lie. Last few episodes really pulled their weight, but as a show as a whole, like, I don't know, everything has to be the same, and it really felt weird in that second season to me, and the beginning of the third.
Yeah, that's the only thing with, everyone wants a clone animated series where that, it kind of branches off to Captain Rex. Maybe we'll find out what happens with Cody.
Mhm,
Um, Wolf as well. I mean, seeing him in Bad Batch, it's a touchy subject only because the Bad Batch kind of was the clone story. I think Disney listened and was like, okay, this is, an adaptation of Filoni, of course, them working in the Bad Batch has been in Clone Wars. And then
mhm,
they get their own show. And I feel like when they heard that they wanted a clone show, this is what it was. And I mean, the Bad Batch is dope. Like, I mean, each character pulls their own weight. Um,
exactly.
Tech's death is probably like one of the worst things, like, since the Disney era. Oh man, it still sucks. But yeah, like there's some really good things. I would say though, like I feel like in the third season, there was so many predictions and theories for
Mhm,
what was gonna happen. Like Project Necromancer, like when they were discussing those episodes and Palpatine shows up, like it's like chill worthy. Like you're
mhm.
watching these like, oh shit, like I'm actually scared right now, and this
Yeah,
is an
dude,
animated
seriously.
show. But then like once they get past the doors and you just see like four force sensitive kids, you're like, oh, that's what's back here. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then just kind of just the way like the Bad Batch goes on and just kind of like lives their lives, and then like Hunter's in a cave with long hair, and then Omega's older. Like that's cool. She's gonna go off with the Rebel Alliance, which I mean, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities for tie-ins later. Could be live action maybe, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it started off super strong, but then it was just kind of like, ah,
Yeah.
okay,
I yeah, I expected her to pick up a lightsaber or something, because once she was in that, like, what you said, like, the room with all the force sensitive kids, like, she was there for a reason. What was it called? Was it midichlorian level? Is that what it was?
oh, I fucking forgot her midichlorian
Dude,
count was like
seriously.
high as hell.
It was, like, higher than every kid there, and they didn't even touch on anything. Like, they never showed her using the force,
Mm,
never showed anything of that sort, and it kinda ended. That's what made me a little confused, because she was definitely force sensitive from what they said, and they never touched on it, so it kind of threw me off, for sure.
yeah. Also, too, I don't know how I forgot either the whole Asajj Ventress episode. Like she's supposed to be
Dude,
dead.
yeah, what the yeah, seriously, wait a minute.
Like she's supposed to be dead. Obviously, she's a night sister, so they could use magic and bring her back. But I
Mhm, we
mean,
saw that in Ahsoka.
yeah, like she could even see that Omega was force sensitive, and she knew, what she was capable of, and then it just wasn't really
Mhm.
touched on. But I always try to give it the benefit of the doubt because I don't think the story's finished, or maybe it is finished, and they just didn't elaborate on it. But I mean, my number one thing with Omega was I wanted her and Boba Fett to actually share a scene with them being, the unaltered clones of
Mhm.
Django. Like, meet, that's your sister, like, and Boba's real name is Alpha. There's Alpha and Omega. So I mean, there's the tie-in and the connection. Maybe we can see that in a later adaptation of that story. But I mean, yeah, man, damn, Bad Batch kind of, now that I think about it, kind of missed a little bit in that third
It
season.
did. It did. It was cool, but it definitely had its flaws for sure. But it was cool. It was better than the second for sure.
Oh yeah. Sid pissed me off all second season. I'm like, man, if you guys trust this chick one more time, like, come on.
She was awful. She was
Yeah.
awful.
Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
so with the Bad Batch kind of out the way, okay, so in the Mandoverse, I mean, this is going to be a huge topic of discussion, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu being the next movie that's hitting screens,
Mhm.
um, May of 2026.
Mhm.
We have the Mandalorian. We have Grogu alongside with Din Djarin. We have the Ahsoka series, really cool, and that's kind of like, I don't know for you, but it felt like kind of like a Rebels season 5.5. We kind of
That's what
like
it
picked
felt
up with
like.
the characters
Yeah.
and live action, of course, they look real good. Um, Sabine looked great. Shin and Balin, took the show by storm. Live action Thrawn, Ezra, Hera, all these people. Chopper,
Mm-hmm.
goddamn, it keeps going. Uh,
Seriously.
Book of Boba Fett. I know you mentioned you didn't really care for it. Boba just has a goddamn soft spot in my heart, man, and goddamn, it's like top 2 for me. I loved it, but I expected too much in it,
That's what I'd
and
say. Yeah.
it kind of it let off a little bit, um, but yeah, like all those shows in the Mandoverse. What is your favorite out of all of those? And also Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is in the mix. I don't know
Still
if
haven't
you checked
finished
that out
that.
yet.
Haven't finished it yet, but so far it's pretty good. So far it's
Nice.
not bad. I don't know. I heard it was bad, and I wanted to give it my own thoughts before I made my own opinion. Acolyte, that's out of the window. I watched 2 episodes and thought it was dog shit. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. But Skeleton Crew so far, it's not bad. I really do like this look of Star Wars. It's very different. It's very different for sure, but I like it. I like it for sure. And then the Mandoverse you mentioned, man, dude, that's hard. That's really hard. Like favorite show or like just characters? Like what? I don't know, man. I'm trying
Yeah,
to like
I mean, what do you think is I mean, Mandalorian and Grogu's story is obviously the centerpiece, and the rest of these
right.
characters kind of branch out. But if you were to pick one series out of this timeline, which one are you gonna roll with? It's kind of a shitty question
I know.
now that I think about it. But I mean, it's something really to think about.
Yeah, no, no kidding. Man, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't. It's not that I enjoy the Mandalorian. I just don't. I don't know. I don't put a lot of time into watching it much, and I feel like I should. I feel like I should rewatch that series, but I don't know.
Definitely have to before the movie comes out next year. I feel like
Well,
it's only right for everyone to go back and rewatch it before you
did,
go.
yeah. Did you see who the big villain was for that?
Yeah, Embo.
Yeah. When was the last time we saw him? Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's what it would sound like. And then yeah, Embo, and from what I've heard, Rhoda the Hutt is a gladiator. Um
Oh,
and I
I did not hear
feel
that.
like yeah, it's gonna be it's so weird
Huh.
and it's so early. Like we're still over a year out from this coming out. I know they wrapped up filming. Um but Jeremy Allen White from Shameless, who plays Lip Gallagher, and he's also the main character in The Bear.
Yeah, I saw
He is
that.
he's the voice of Rhoda. So what I'm hoping is it's just like Zero the Hutt. He speaks basic. He speaks English. And
That's what I'm thinking too.
so I mean, I could
That's gonna
not
be
just
funny.
I could not picture Jeremy Allen White just making Huttese noises, and I just don't see that happening. So maybe he speaks basic. But yeah, and apparently Embo has a bounty to go get not Zero that Rhoda, and same with Din Djarin and Grogu. So
Oh, shoot. Okay.
that might be the tie-in. So and what kind of sucks is like we already know what it's about. If that's true, unless we're just supposed to take it with a grain of salt. Um, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, sounds all right. I mean, we got to see it. You know, it's gonna look good.
Oh yeah, it's Filoni, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. And there's also there's a leak at a I can't remember if it was I don't think it was a celebration. It might have just been a con. That there was kind of like a release of some snippets from the Mandalorian and Grogu. And I had to see this on Reddit. It was like terrible, like Galaxy, like S12 quality. Um, and the Din Djarin and Grogu are running, or like they're on an AT-ST running down a hill, and it's snowy, and they make this huge jump off this cliff, right? And they fall into the snow, and as they're continuing running, there's two AT-ATs that are shooting at them. So then they turn
Oh,
around and run the other way. Like that's cinema. That's amazing. But what I'm thinking is if Embo is the guy, could you imagine seeing him in live action, like snowboarding down the hill with his hat?
yeah,
Like,
kind of.
you have to do it. I mean, if that's the point, maybe that's who they're running from.
Oh my god, that's actually so funny. There's
So
Just throws it down, starts gliding down the oh my gosh, it's actually so funny. I can
Yeah.
picture it for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. I mean, if
Yeah.
that ends up to what it is, why not? It's there.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. That's so fun.
if who's your favorite character out of the Ahsoka series?
Hmm. I'd Ahsoka. I'd have to say Ahsoka. I mean, obviously Hayden Christensen was in it, and he did a fantastic job. But I gotta tip my cap off to Ahsoka. Like she was badass in that show. I can't even lie. She was
Rosario
great.
killed it.
She did a great job. I have to tip my cap off because wow, that show was amazing. That was probably my favorite that they've put out from the Star Wars besides Mando, but it was
Yeah.
good. It was really good.
Yeah, I remember it when it first came out, you get that title, like the screen, and it's like red text, and it's talking about the Galactic Empire, how it's fallen, and there's remnants of Grand Admiral Thrawn. So it's like, oh shit, so we are getting, Thrawn in this. So I mean,
Hmm.
and it wasn't like Andor where you get that slow burn feeling, like absolute great storytelling. But with Ahsoka, it's like you just you let whatever happen basically. It's almost like
Hmm.
it's like judgment free kind of. So like as you're watching, you're just like, wow, man, like Ahsoka being, Snips once upon a time, watching Clone Wars. Now look at her. She's like, transitions into Ahsoka the White in live action. And everything that she's going up against. I mean, for Christ's sakes, man, she's in a whole different galaxy. She's not even in
Seriously.
the main galaxy anymore. And it's like, what is this going to set up? And of course, like you said, with Hayden Christensen coming back, like, wow, the goat is back. So I mean,
Hmm.
it's dope for him to get more recognition once again, and just seeing Hayden in live action is it's something else, man.
It was. It was amazing.
But I mean, and especially with the Kenobi series, I feel like seeing him in that and also playing Vader, it's just like, wow, like Star Wars is up right now.
It really is. I'm just so excited to see what comes in the later years. It's so much fun.
Yeah, but man, I feel like with the Star Wars movies, series, Lego, I feel like we've kind of wrapped everything up. But before we go, what is the next set that you will be building for Lego Star Wars?
Oh man, dude. Oh,
What is
that's
your next that you need? You got to have it. It has to be in the collection.
all right. It's either gotta be that MTT that's coming out in August. Like I know it's not the next one, but I have to have that. Same with the battle pack. I need to get like 5 of those suckers.
Oh man.
It's gotta happen. But the next set is either gonna be the UCS Jango Fett Slave One or the play scale. I'm not sure. I'm kind of juggling which one I'm gonna get because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might get one and then get the other later, but I don't know. One of them's getting bought. Maybe both. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
both. I don't
That's
know.
kind of that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I feel like eventually I'm gonna have both. I'm kind of leaning more towards UCS just because I want that armored Jango Fett, and it's supposed to be heavily detailed from what I'm seeing. Young Boba is always gonna look good, and plus, like for a $300 UCS set, it's gonna be very detailed. Like the UCS X-wing, amazing, looks great, very detailed, and it's right around that
Mhm.
same price point. So, I mean, I feel like they can't miss with this one. So I agree with you there.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But all right, man. Well, before we go, let everyone watching, if they're still here, where they can find you and what your channel's about.
Absolutely. Everyone, I'm the Brickley Bugle. You can find me right here. Oh, wrong way. You you can
Other
find me
way.
right. Yeah, my bad. You can find me right here. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok if you still have it. But man, just Lego content, photos, very unique photos, man. Reviews, videos, memes. Very fun community. Everyone's welcome. I mean, if you have any questions, DM me, join our Discord, Cantina. You know, just hit me up. I mean, I'm always down to have a conversation. And just like you saw with Brandon, man. It's so much fun. So, I mean, that's about it, man. That's about it.
Awesome. Yeah. Everybody, make sure you go follow Derek at the Brickley Bugle. Everything Star Wars and branches out into different things, all things Lego. And of course, your boy here, Brandon. Make sure you go follow me Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok at Clan Brandolorian. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe down below. Let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about the Mandalorian and Grogu coming out? What are some of your favorite Lego Star Wars sets? All that thing, everything in between. Let us know. All things lore theory, Funko, and Lego. But as always, guys, may the force be with you. Clan Brandolorian. I'm out.